Hey, we're out here on a small reservoir in North Carolina. It is late July. It's already hot. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. Water temperature is 86 degrees already. Probably gonna get up into the mid-90s as far as water temperature today, and that's gonna be hot. So I'm planning on just mixing it up, trying to find some moving water, maybe running up the river, just generally junk fishing. So maybe this will be a 101 lesson in junk fishing. In the summertime, I always like to start out early in the morning when I don't have a clue of what I'm gonna do. Fishing fast, covering water, trying to get a few lucky topwater bites. Starting out with a black buzzbait, just because I'm heading up the river and water's kind of stained and black's always a good color.
Dustin's early morning game plan was more or less a whiff. He's getting bit, but most of the fish are small bank runners. As the hot morning turns into a blazing hot afternoon, he'll have to go to plan B. The summer doldrums provide a convenient excuse for many anglers, but Dustin's not giving up just yet.
A lot of times if you're getting short strikes on a buzzbait or anything topwater, it pays to go down just a little bit in the water column. I'm switching to a Swimjig, and I'm gonna even shorten it up just a tad. They've been getting a lot of fishing pressure on this lake, so a short compact bait, something they can just snap at real easy, might be the ticket. He climbed the log. I should say I climbed the log for him. Main reason I chose this body of water is I know it has a little bit of current flow. When it's hot, you got to have the current or you're wasting your time. Fish will get suspended. With the current, it'll position the fish. I know right where to cast to maximize my chances. Oh, that's a good one right there. Might be old Muddy Mud. Old Muddy. This fish has about 10 names. Mudfish, blackfish, bowfish, on and on and on. Prehistoric. Fin goes all the way down. A lot of times you see them in the water, their fins just going like that. And their teeth are recessed in their mouth. So when they bite down, those teeth come out. You never want to lip one of these things if you catch one. There you go. A little one. But you know, in the summertime, hot as it's been, all fish are good fish. We've been out here a couple hours now. It's just tough. We've caught a few little ones, and I'm gonna just keep working my way up the river, maybe where it gets narrower, the current will be even stronger. Try it for another hour or two, and if that does no good, I might head back down lake and fish real heavy cover and see if they've gotten buried up in it. A little bit better one. I saw there's a flat with a stump right there. I just threw this Fat Max and just swam it right by the stump, and he just came out and creamed it like he'd never seen anything before. On a worm, might be onto something.
If If Mother Nature stagnates and boils the water, you have to look for other things that'll oxygenate it and keep the fish active. Dustin's solution is current. Far up the river, the fish have more energy and oftentimes less pressure. That's a good combination for a game changer.
That's a good one right there. Real nice one. Oh yeah. Digging. That is textbook exactly where he was. That's the nicest fish of the day. Old Fat Max worm. Man, he's pretty. Pretty fish. Woo! Now let me tell you about, you look up in here in this ditch behind me. The main river goes over here, but this ditch is drying up. So all those fish that live back in there, they have to pull out to the main river or risk getting dried up. And that's a nice fish right there. Good one on a river like this. You know, most of the time on these rivers, you get way up like this, fish average 1.5 pounds or so. You can get one like this that's 4.5 pounds anyway. Maybe even pushing 5, but probably 4.5. That's a nice one. This is the worm I'm throwing today. It's the Culprit Fat Max. I'm throwing it on a 5/16 screw-in weight, just Texas style with a wide gap hook. And what I found with this worm is 5/16 allows that tail to kick just right. I start with this size every time I fish with this worm and go up or down a little bit, but often this is the best size. All I'm doing is just simply Texas rigging it, just like any other Texas rig. Put it back in. The unique thing is I'm using lead because it's a little bit bigger for this worm. This worm's a real fat worm called the Fat Max. I want the lead to match up with the size of the worm so I don't get trash on the nose of it. That's all I'm doing. Good one too. It's a perfect little spot for one. In the summertime, you've got to pay attention to that current. And the farther you go, the more you learn. Like that was right on the tip of this island. The last fish I caught was right at the end of a gut that drains. You can look back at almost every fish I've caught, and it's been something, you know, really obvious, like current going into this point, mouth of a gut, current flushing up against the water willow. Everything's fairly simple. That's why this fishing's so much fun. There he is. Whew. Just a little log right there off the main lake, off the main river. He did a whole loop around it when he saw it swimming out there. I switched to a shad color worm. I'm starting to see a few bait fish pop up. Maybe this will make a difference. Oh, he ran way out. Another one on the shad color worm. Ever since I put this on, I've been getting bites, so I think they're more keyed on bait fish. Another big one right there. Oh, it's not big. He came out of there like a 5-pounder, and that's exactly where earlier I caught that big one. Little one. And yeah, it makes sense. There's probably more and more fish. As it gets hotter, there's probably still a few fish back in there. So they're just probably just steady coming out to get relief. Just had a little bump right there, yes. Steady swimming out, getting relief. That's the perfect setup right there in the summertime. Current. All right. Today's drive at home point is when it's super hot in the summer like it is today, it's got to be at least 1,000 degrees. End of July, the water temperature is 90 degrees. You got to seek out that current, especially current near a backwater. Those fish are pulling out of the backwater and getting on those drops in the main river, and that's where you'll find the fish.
Carolina's Perfect Cast, brought to you by Culprit, more than just your favorite worm. Dave's Tournament Tackle. Shop online at davestournamenttackle.com. Rod Glove, for all your rod and reel needs. Sunline, the strength to guarantee your confidence.